Hi, folks. I wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction to what we're working on over these next few weeks of the course. So right now on my screen, I've got the syllabus up, and I scroll it, of course, to the course schedule. This is where you should be looking on a weekly basis. This is where you should be basically using as your starting place every week to make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. Now, um, so if we look at week one, you'll see, of course, beyond just reading the course introduction and the syllabus, we have a grammar resources folder that you should be taking a look at as needed within the course. We have a pretty extensive set of lessons there on grammar, many of which I developed or helped develop, that are a useful resource for you if you need to improve your grammar skills. As the course goes on, you may discover that you have specific, concerns with certain grammar skills that it would be useful to refer to this folder for. But we're really starting unit one of the course now. And when you get into unit one of the course, you'll see our paper one assignments. So if I click on the paper one assignment, hopefully you've already done this. If not, you want to be doing this in the next couple of days. You want to read what the paper one assignment is. This is where we're heading over the next few weeks of the course. Really, the next month of the course is focused on the development of paper number one. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole paper one assignment sheet here now because there's a lot to it, but you'll see at the very beginning of it, it gets to the main point. In paper one, you're going to be writing a persuasive essay in which you argue for a specific change in law or policy. You want to argue for one specific change on an issue that you think you could codify. You could make a law or policy, and passing that law or policy on some level. It could be on a state level, a local level, a national level. It could be a policy at a school. It could be a policy at a workplace. But passing that law or making that change in law or policy would improve some problem that currently exists in that situation. It may not solve the problem, but it could at least bring some improvement. That's what you want to be developing your paper to argue for. So the intention of this paper assignment is to argue for something, for a specific tangible change that you're advocating that can be codified in some kind of law or policy or rule. Now, I've given you within the assignment sheet a bunch of potential issues that you might be interested in, that you could potentially find a specific change in law or policy within it. So there's an extensive set of examples here. But you're not simply limited to these examples. You don't have to just choose one of these. You could, but you can come up with a completely different issue or idea that you're interested in focusing on, and that's fine. For this paper, you're not allowed to use any research whatsoever. We haven't talked in our course yet about how to use research properly and how to give proper credit. The intention behind this assignment is to choose an issue that you are already knowledgeable about and advocate for some kind of change in law or policy that would improve that situation. And to do so with your own thoughtful ability to engage in an argument, your own thoughtful analysis of the issue. We're going to be working on developing those critical thinking skills over the next few weeks. That's part of what we do within this first unit of the course. So obviously, if you haven't already read the paper one assignment itself, please carefully take your time to go through it and read it. But you'll see that's part of what you're being asked to do in the first week of the course. You're also being asked to look at the lessons, to fully read the lessons within module one of our unit. Now, these module one lessons, these are all my lessons on these crucial topics: academic tone, essay structure, and thesis statements. Those are the three most important lessons there. Those are the most important lessons in our course by far. You have to truly master these things to be able to succeed in our class. What you'll discover, for example, within these lessons is that many of the rules for successful college level writing are different than you might have experienced at a younger level. So for example, you'll see within our lesson on academic tone that most college level sophisticated writing does not utilize first person. Those are some of the possible things that you'll see in that academic tone lesson. In our lesson on essay structure, some people at least will be surprised that essay structure does not ask for a lot of repetition, that a sophisticated essay structure is not repetitive. That is an elementary essay structure. So you're going to be learning more about essay structure than maybe what you've experienced in the past. Our lesson on thesis statements, for example, will have a number of specific examples of good and bad thesis statements. You may discover that some of the thesis statements you've written in the past were too simplistic to be effective at the college level. But you'll see in this lesson, it teaches you how to write sophisticated college level thesis statements that will help truly guide successful papers within our course and with the other courses that you're taking at the college level. So those are some of the key things that you're going to be working on over this first week of our course. You'll also see that that we have a few readings within the first unit that are intended to be readings about different issues or problems within society. So, for example, this week we're looking at Philip Carter and his essay about mass shootings. Mass shootings are, of course, a serious problem that have gotten much worse in the last 10 years or so. And Philip Carter was writing this right after the horrible shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. And he is thinking about, these series of mass shootings that we've had in America and how we have or have not responded to them. He doesn't necessarily advocate a specific solution or improvement. He's not advocating a specific change in law. You will be doing something like that when you actually write your paper. But we want to look at essays like Philip Carter so that we can think about these broader, big problematic issues within society and engage in discussion about them, about possible ways of improving those kinds of situations. So you'll see that those are the readings that you're going to be doing over the week. You will always see that within the course, when you do readings, you'll have some related quizzes that you have to take. There are 2 quizzes that you're taking this week on the readings that are assigned, the lessons and the actual essays themselves. You're also going to be engaging the discussion board throughout our unit. That discussion board participation is really important to getting practice with thinking about these writing issues and these potential social issues that you might be writing about within your paper. You're going to start to narrow down your focus for the first paper. So in that paper 1 assignment, it gives you the general directions and it gives you a bunch of possible topics that you might choose from. When you get to week 2 of the course, you're going to make a decision. You're going to decide on a specific topic that you want to argue for. You're going to write a short paragraph in which you say, okay, in this paper, I intend to argue for this specific change in law or policy in this situation. You're just going to write a paragraph telling me what you're planning on writing about. I am going to then respond to that paper topic proposal paragraph with some feedback, with suggestions on things you might think about with that issue, on if, for example, your topic is too broad and you haven't narrowed it to one specific change in law or policy, I might have to try to give you some guidance to narrow it down. But you'll get feedback from me at that step in the writing process. So as you'll see in this course, there is a writing process. We start thinking about the paper assignment, but we don't start writing the actual paper yet. We move towards it kind of slowly so that you can develop the parts along the way. The first step is just sharing with me what you specifically intend to write about, getting my feedback and utilizing that so that in the following week, you can develop your outline worksheet. And you'll see when we get to the outline worksheet that the outline worksheet, I'll pull up the actual file here just so you can see. But the outline worksheet asks you a series of questions, first about the problem that you're interested in thinking about for this particular assignment. And then ultimately, the change in law or policy that you would propose. Then you develop the actual topic sentences for your paper. So these are what you want to develop for your topic sentences are going to be a series of key benefits of the change you're arguing for or reasons for that proposed change. So you're advocating for the change you're suggesting. Each of these topic sentences has to be a different, distinct benefit of that specific change. You're going to develop at least 3 topic sentences because that's what's going to be necessary to develop this size paper. At least 3 is the minimum. It's not, of course, the maximum. You might end up with 4 or 5 topic sentences if you have 4 or 5 key benefits that you want to structure your paper around. So you're going to develop those topic sentences, and then you're going to develop the actual thesis statement for the paper itself. So by developing these topic sentences and thesis before writing the actual paper, you're going to make sure that you've developed your key ideas. You figured out the key points that you really want to state. These topic sentences are actual sentences. I have examples within the course website of like examples for topic sentences and your examples topic thesis statements as well. It's going to be important when we get to that part of the course that you're looking at those examples and really utilizing them to develop this effectively. You will then, within basically a day of you submitting your outline worksheet, you will get feedback from me. And I will be very specific with my feedback on suggestions that you might want to make in revising these topic sentences and thesis before you proceed to the writing of the actual paper itself. At that point, you'll see me also remind you, if you'd like to revise that stuff and send it back to me and have me look at another version of your topic sentences and your thesis, I'm happy to do that. I want to do that so I can make sure that you have those elements really successfully developed for your paper. Developing this stage in the writing process is crucial. This is a good indicator of whether or not you're going to be able to write a good paper or not. If you have a good set of topic sentences and a strong thesis statement, you have the key structural elements that you need to write a strong paper. If you don't have a good set of topic sentences, or you don't have a good thesis, you will not have a successful paper. You can't. You have to have that structure for the building to stand, so to speak. So of course, we're going to discuss this in much further depth as the next few weeks go on. But I want to give you today just a bigger picture of where we're heading over these first few weeks of the course. You can see the larger purpose of each of these things that you're doing in week 1, in week 2, and in week 3. As always, as you're going through the course, if you have any questions, you just want some feedback on whether you're understanding something properly, always feel free to send me an email. I teach all of my courses online or in blended format. So I'm regularly online every day. You will always get a quick response from me. And I'm very happy to answer your questions. And, there's no dumb questions. If you aren't understanding something, send me an email, ask the question, and I'll help get you on track. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody.